Welcome, guys, to episode 16 of the podcast. How are you doing today, Justin?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you
So,
today?
I'm great, but let's address the issue here. So, the reason I hope, I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed that my camera is off. Now, the reason for this is because my camera on my other laptop is disabled, and the other laptop that I was using previously is laggy. It's not working right now. It's on OP. It's just UP. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It is. It's pretty bad. So, you know what?
Yeah.
We decided to try and fix this issue for Monday. We really wanted to get you guys an episode consistently. We get it on
Yeah.
Fridays, every Monday, Friday. So we're on that grind. We're on that hustle. You know what I mean, guys?
Facts.
Facts. So that's why I decided to switch to this laptop. It's much faster. So I will get the camera fixed by Monday's episode, hopefully. Okay. So there's a lot to talk about today. So there is a bunch of news about the NHL, some NBA news about a potential new season start date, and the World Series that is going on right now. So we will analyze that and start off with the NHL. So
Yes, we will start off.
Plenty of signing since the last episode that we
Yeah.
uploaded.
Let's start with the Toronto Maple Leafs, my team, and what Cal Dubas has done this week. So, first of all, he re-signs Ilya Mikheyev, right? He re-signs Mikheyev.
Which is good for how long? A year.
It's 2 years, 1.65 per year. So that's fantastic.
Weren't they paying him like almost $4 million last season, something like that?
No, I don't think so. But
he was getting paid a bag, like a good amount of money last season, more than this year.
I'm not quite sure. But anyways, back to the point, right? This is a great signing because he can literally be like a captain. Like, he can play the penalty kill. He can score goals. He had like 23 points in 39 games last year. He can do what Janssen and Kapanen did when they were actually healthy.
I'm really good. I'm really impressed with that signing. You know why, bro? He's gonna play that second line. He's got that experience. He's played with the Leafs before. He's gonna do really well with Tavares. I can't wait to see that. And he's probably
Tavares and Nylander.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get into something. Could we go into the Travis Dermott signing now?
Oh yeah, I will. But before that, I just want to say Cal Dubas, great signing here, 1.6. And people on Twitter complaining about that might be too much. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, a bunch of people on Twitter are a bunch of people on Twitter are a bunch of babies and they don't know how to take criticism and stuff.
What?
Speaking of our Twitter, go follow our Twitter and our Instagram.
Oh, yeah. By the way. Yes, sir.
The AJ Sports Podcast, the AJ Sports Podcast on Instagram and the Twitter.
On Twitter. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Back to McCann, bro. Like, I don't understand why people are hating on Dubas when this contract got signed. Like, what are you talking about?
No, he's a second line player.
He's gonna play a second line. Second line, who's only getting paid 1.6. Like, what are you complaining about? He's gonna put up points. He was on pace for like what, almost 50 points last year. Like, before he didn't get injured. Like, what are people complaining about? That's a great signing. Now,
I know.
Dermott today. That's like.
Let me get into my opinion on this. They should have never re-signed him. I don't think they should have re-signed him. He's not that good. He's not that good of a defender. No. He's okay, right? He's not great, but they're under the cap. That's the problem. They signed him for $740,000 for another season, correct? Something like that.
Oh, it was 870.
Something like that. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying it was a bad signing. Yo, you cut out for a second. What were you saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't know. They're under the cap now, which leads me to speculate that if a big player is going to get traded.
But you're like cutting out. I don't know what that.
Yeah, you're cutting out as well. I don't know, bro.
What did you say?
You're cutting out. Hang on a sec.
Keep going.
Sorry, guys. We had a little bit of an issue there. So back
Wi-Fi
to
connection.
Wi-Fi connection. Back to what we were talking about. So we were talking about the Dermott signing. Now, I said that it was okay. It was a decent signing. It wasn't good. I don't know, because now they're under the cap, which is a problem. Now that leads to me speculating that they might trade William Nylander.
No.
To maybe get something out. I don't know. They have to make a trade. Maybe Kerfoot is gonna go. I don't know. They have to fit under the cap somehow.
Well, okay. I saw something on Twitter today where it was like they could do 4 options: use LTIR, trade, or they could bury a contract that's like 1.5 million. So like they could like bury Pierre Engvall in the minors, or do something else. I forget what was the other thing. But back to Travis Dermott, I love this signing because there's multiple reasons for it. Right now, listen to me here. Right, listen.
All right, let's go.
First of all, he's 23, right? He's 23. He's a left shot defenseman. Now, he's going to play on the right side. Dubas has said he's going to play on his offside, which would be the right side. Look, he's 23. He was projected to get, 1.5, 1.6 for like 2 to 3 years on a bridge deal, right? But he decided to take less money, almost a league min contract, almost a league min at 23 years of age. And now, us Leaf fans are still waiting for him to take the jump and be a top 4 defenseman. And he's only 23. If he does not take this leap into being a top 4 defenseman this year, then next year you probably don't re-sign him, because it's been too long that we've all been waiting, and Dubas, for him to be a top 4 defenseman. He signed on almost a league min contract. He's 23. It's a prove himself deal. So if he performs like a top 4 defenseman, that's fantastic. At an $800,000 contract, that's beautiful. If he does not perform well, 1, you could bury him in the minors if you really need to, or 2, you just don't even have to play him, or 3, he could just be probably a third defensive pair, which you probably will be already. So This is a great signing. Dubas, again, with a great signing. That's a steal. He would have gone to 1.5, but he decided to go with $874,000. It's a great signing. And I don't get why people are hating on Dubas, again, on Twitter with the nonsense. It's like, everything Dubas does, people are hating. Like, why? He's making less money than Rasmus Sandin this year. Like, what do you mean? He's making less money than Mikko Lehtinen, who's, first of all, KHL Defenseman of the Year last year, and has already won the KHL Defenseman of the Week, I think, once. And he has like 8 goals and 8 assists in like 14 games in the KHL.
He's sort of agree. Out there. I sort of agree with what you're saying, but the problem is, how are they going to get under the cap now? I swear they're over the cap by a decent amount, right?
They're over by like 1 or 2 million. They could trade Justin Hall. Justin Hall's making $2 million a year.
Either like trading maybe, but here's the thing: you only have one right-handed defenseman. Then you don't have any other options.
No, because
all you have is what you have. You all have left defenders now. You won't have any. There's no like right winger, like right defenseman depth. They don't have that. They only have Zach Bogosian, but they do have players that can play on the right side.
Okay, look. If you trade Hall, right, you can have this would be most likely the defensive pairs if you trade Hall, right? Because for money, like, because you need cap. You would go Morgan Riley, TJ Brody, right? That's your first defensive pair. Now, you could go Muzzin, Bogosian on your second pair. Then for your third pair, you can go Dermott, Mikko Lehtinen. Now, there's only 2 right shot defensemen there. Now Brody's a left shot defenseman, but he plays right shot defense his whole career. And Zach Bogosian's a real right shot defenseman. Now, you have depth there. You have Timothy Liljegren, who's a right shot defenseman, who we're still waiting for him to actually step up. And now Rasmus Sandin is a left shot defenseman. So we have defensive depth somehow. Out of nowhere, we actually have good defensive depth. And now we probably won't see Martin Marincin play, which is a blessing.
No, we don't want to see that anymore. Like him and Cody Ceci were probably the worst defensive pair in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, that was bad. They weren't even a defensive pair. There would be literally 2 lines, one with Cody Ceci and one with Martin Marincin. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. But back to good defense right here. This is fantastic because now you look, for example, you could go Muzzin, you could go Riley Brody as the first pair, right? And then sometimes you can even scratch Zach Bogosian and then go like Muzzin, Travis Dermott, and then go Sandin, Mikko Lehtinen. Like there's multiple options if they trade Hall. Now, they don't have to trade Hall. They could just bury Pierre Engvall's contract in the minors, and then they're fine. They're under the cap again. So, dude, they have options. They can still trade. They can still use LTIR money.
I was thinking though, maybe trade Alexander Kerfoot. Honestly,
that's another option.
But here's the thing: where's he gonna fit with the team? Because let's be honest, we already know the top 2 lines, right?
Yeah.
The third line though is probably gonna. I honestly I can see Wayne Simmons. I can see Joe Thornton. I can see Jimmy Vesey. But what about? I
think the third line.
But what about that fourth line though? You got Spezza. Probably Travis Boyd's gonna play. And the guy that just got traded from the Devils to the Leafs, right?
Joey Anderson,
Joey Anderson,
or or you could put Nick Roberts in there.
Or
Dude,
Nick
there's multiple
Robertson.
options. Like,
But
yeah, like look,
Alex, how much money is Alex Kerfoot making right now?
Kerfoot's making 3.5 for the next 3 years. Now, he's a good player, man. Like last year, he broke his jaw for like half the season. He couldn't eat. Like
I
what?
know,
Like what do you
I
expect?
know,
He
but
couldn't eat for like half the season.
I'm just saying, if you have to trade someone, he would be a good option. That's the thing.
Yeah, he might be the odd man out because then you could have like if you trade Kerfoot, you can have like let's say Thornton as your third line center or Spetz as your third line center, and then have Nick Robertson on the wing and then VC on the wing or like Wayne Simmons, you know. So like there's multiple options if you trade Kerfoot, but man, like Dubas can go so many places with this. Like he could trade, he could not trade, he could bury a contract in the minors, he could use LTIR money, but probably won't do that.
Because he's got to get under.
Dude, like,
he has a lot of time to get under the cap.
Yeah, he has like 2 months.
Yeah, I mean,
more than 2 months anyway.
But if I were him, I'd probably consider maybe getting rid of Kerfoot. Honestly, I think he might be the odd man out. I think he might be the odd man out here in this situation because I wouldn't. Because how old is he exactly?
Oh, he's only like 26.
I know, but I'm just you'll fit. I think they'll fit under the cap perfectly if they just trade him.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, man. There's multiple options that could.
Yeah, there's multiple ways that they can go. Like honestly, a lot of people are. I've seen on Instagram or Twitter, some people are saying maybe you can trade Nylander, trade Marner.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
So I don't know about that, but like I mean
Nylander
Nylander's a good player. Like that's why Kerfoot, he's just the odd man out. I don't see him in next year's lineup playing with the Leafs.
You don't see him in next year's lineup.
No, I just don't see him anymore. I think they'll get rid of him. They have that. That's what I think. I don't know. That's gonna happen.
It's tough. It's really tough, man. It's weird. Connor Brown signing
former Leaf.
Former Leaf. I want to say what was it, $10.8 million contract
for 3 years,
6 per year, I think, or something like that.
Yeah,
that's a good signing for Ottawa because they have to get over 60 million.
No, the total was like 10 million. It was 3.6 every season.
Yeah. It was something like that.
The total was like 3.6 million for a year.
Yeah, 3.6.
Pretty good signing, honestly.
That is a good signing. That is a really good signing.
And he's still young too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 20. Yeah, he's 26. Like that's the perfect time.
Honestly, he might be reaching his NHL prime, which people say usually is like 28 to like 32 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Dude,
so yeah, I mean, Ottawa team's looking pretty. That Ottawa team's looking pretty dangerous, and you look out for them in the next like 4 seasons, bro.
Yeah.
Their rebuild, it's
gone quicker really well because of their draft picks and who they signed in the offseason.
Yeah, I want to go into a team that just announced that they were going into a rebuild a couple days ago. The Chicago Blackhawks have announced after a while that they are going to go into a rebuild and focus on the young talent.
Yeah,
which is kind of sad because it's their fault in the first place why they're doing this. Now, a lot of people are going to say how, but the problem right now, what they have is their goaltending. They don't have anybody. They have Malcolm Subban, which it can be a backup, but they don't have a starting goalie. The whole point of that Robin Leonard trade, or like, right? Was that a trade? That was a trade.
Yeah, it was a trade. Yeah.
The whole point of that Robin Leonard trade was to lock up on Corey Crawford. Now Corey Crawford became a UFA, and he's gone. Now he's gone. Now they have no goaltenders. They don't have a good starting goaltender. And then I don't know. It's tough, man. Like that team was so good. Like they won 3 cups last decade, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now for them to announce that they're in a rebuild, that sucks.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But like, dude, first of all, they had to trade. Well, they didn't have to trade what's the name? His name just Robin Leonard. They didn't have to trade Leonard, but they were not good at that time before the pandemic. They were not good. They were not in playoff contention. So they had to trade him for assets. They had for like future pieces. So that made sense at the time. And now, okay, sure, Corey Crawford's gone, which is sad for Blackhawks Nation, but like, dude, this goaltending is trash. Malcolm Subban, Colin Delia. What is that? First of all, now Duncan Keith is 37, making $5.5 million. You know there's going to be a lot of trade talk for Duncan Keith, Patrick Kane, and Jonathan Toews, honestly, when you really think about it, man. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not even.
those three players right there are like Chicago Blackhawks icons. They've been there. They've been
Yeah.
there from the beginning, and it's I
Dude,
don't
and
know.
Patrick Kane's only 31. Like, dude, now he has $10.5 million on his contract. But, dude, trade talks might ramp up, like, next year, man. Because obviously this year teams don't have cap space. But, dude, next year, there might be trade talks between all these three guys.
Who do you think out of Duncan Keith, Patrick Kane, and Jonathan Taves, which one do you see leaving the Blackhawks though? That's the thing. Because if those three are if those three could be like good trading options for young players that they need, I don't know who would be the odd man out. You think?
Is that?
Pardon me? You're cutting out. Sorry, guys. Justin's internet just crashed
Like,
out of
this is
nowhere.
ridiculous.
His internet is on OP today.
Yeah. Okay, but back to what I was saying, right? I think Patrick Kane might be the first one to go because, look, 37-year-old Duncan Keith, $5.5 million for the next 3 years. No one's taking that contract. I'm sorry. Like, no one wants that. He's 37. Jonathan Taves, he's 32, and I think Patrick Kane is better than Jonathan Taves. He's older by 1 year, so it's not that big of a deal. But I think Patrick Kane would get you the most value out of all these three guys.
Yeah.
So I think maybe Patrick Kane goes. But again, maybe he doesn't even want to leave Chicago. Maybe he wants to help these young guys. Because, like, dude, they got some young guys here. Kirby Dach, who's a 30-goal scorer. Alexander Nylander, Lucas Wallmark. They signed Matthias Janmark, Dylan Strome, Matthew Highmore. Like, dude, they got some good guys down here. Dominique Kubalik.
If they do trade for Patrick Kane, they're gonna get a lot of play. They're gonna get a good
Alex
amount.
DeBrincat, like, dude, they're like young guys, dude. Like, they can play, bro. Like, these guys can play. They can score. It's just their goaltending and their defense. Like, they got Nikita Zadorov for Brendan Saad. I don't know about that one, man. Like, their defense is all right. It's just their goaltending is trash. Like, man. Yeah, I guess they're really committing to this full rebuild out here because, like, dude, that is really bad.
Yeah, they next season it's not gonna look good.
It's not gonna be fun.
They're gonna miss the playoffs. Maybe next season coming up. Maybe
they're missing the playoffs.
They're missing the playoffs. Maybe even next season and the following. So it's gonna take a while because they got rid of some key assets that now it's going to be hard to replace because there's so many people that are locked up on contracts, especially after the free agency.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough to find any good players that would be equal to a Patrick Kane trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, like Patrick Kane, like when you look at the Chicago Blackhawks team, like let's be honest, they're not great. But really, when you think about it, does Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane get you like a lottery pick, like a top 5 pick? Because, like, dude, these guys are going to play their hearts out every single game. Like, they're not going to try and lose. They're going to try and win every single game, man. Like,
yeah, playoffs against the Edmonton series this year certainly proved that.
Yeah, like, they're going to play their hearts out every game. Like, do you really think having them two are going to get you a lottery pick? Do you really think you guys are going to be that bad with those two guys on there? I don't think so, man.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm be straight up. Like, they're probably one of the best like duos in the NHL still, and probably of all time. Like, let's be honest. They have 3 cups together.
They are honestly.
Let's not lie.
They're really fun to watch as well. I love watching Chicago Blackhawks against like the Habs or the Leafs. Like, those games are really good.
Dude, Chicago against Toronto, you always have like 5-4 games, 7-6. I still remember that 7-6 game in Chicago when Riley scored the OT winner and the Leafs choked the lead, I think. And it was just back and forth. Kane, Matthews scoring, and we're like, oh, it was beautiful. But yeah, it's tough times in Chicago.
Yeah.
Kulikov, Dmitry Kulikov, I think that's his name. Signs a 1-year deal, $1.5 million with the Devils. I guess that's a good signing. He's a defenseman for the Devils. It's all right. Like, the Devils are still going to be trash anyway, so it's like
it's like cool. Do whatever you can, right?
Yeah. Plus, your defense isn't even that bad. Like, they got Kulikov, Will Butcher, PK Subban, Ryan Murray, Damon Severson. So it's not bad, but like they still won't be that great.
It's not great. It's not great, but it's not bad. Like, it's playable. It's playable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even their goaltending, Corey Crawford and Mackenzie Blackwood. Like, dude, they might surprise teams. They got $17 million in cap space left. Like, dude, they could sign some players.
Maybe they could sign Mike Hoffman. Maybe they can sign Duke.
Maybe. Dude, because they only have to sign Jesper Bratt and Mackenzie Blackwood, and they have $17 million left. They can sign Claire Hoffman if they need. they got some stuff here. But they might
Yeah,
surprise
exactly.
a lot of people, but I don't think they'll be that great.
Yeah, same. So,
Jake Virtanen, hold
yeah,
on, we're not done with the hockey yet. There's still some left. Jake Virtanen re-signs with the Canucks on a 2-year deal, 1.5.
perfect. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. I
That-
like that signing. That's a good signing. My
That is
opinion.
a good signing.
He's a great player, Jake Virtanen. He's still young, right?
Yeah, he's like 24.
Yeah, he's still young. He can develop on that team as well. And there's a lot of players that he'll enjoy playing with. Like, I mean, Bo Horvat. I'm like playing with Bo Horvat. He could be like, he's a mentor for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be good for him. I think it's
Dude,
great.
Horvat's only 25. I thought he was like 30.
Yeah, same. Really? He was 35?
He's only 25, man.
Oh, wow.
Wow. JT Miller's older than Bo Horvat. I thought Horvat's been in the game for a while. Holy. Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that Vancouver Canucks team is actually a really good team, and I could see great things coming out of them next season. Probably top 4 if a Canadian division is announced.
Oh, okay. Well, top 4? Yeah. Oh, man. Do you think the Flames are better than the Canucks? Okay, because let's be honest. Top 3 teams in Canada are the Leafs, Oilers, and Habs. Let's be honest, okay?
Yeah,
let's not lie.
Agreed.
Those are the top 3. But, dude, 4's a toss-up. You can put the Flames better than the Canucks. Not even going to lie. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, dude, like, they got some teams. Oh, and Dominic Simone signed a 1-year, $700,000 deal with the Flames. That's a good depth signing.
He's a centerman, right?
I think he is. Because again, Jim Rutherford doesn't want to sign good depth forwards. They just want to sign Evan Rodriguez.
He wants to sign Cody. He wants to sign Cody Ceci.
Yeah, and Mark Jankowski. Like their bottom 6 is trash.
And hopefully Jimmy Howard too. And hopefully Don't forget about Jimmy Howard.
Hopefully Jimmy Howard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking great for Pittsburgh, and I think that Flames signing really just took it to them. Like they don't have they don't really have depth players anymore. Like their centers right now are Malkin, Crosby, and who else? Like who's there?
Hold on, I'm right here on Cap Friendly. It's Malkin, Crosby, Jared McCann. Now listen, Jared McCann, right? Teddy Bluger, Sam Lafferty, Mark Jankowski, and Evan Rodriguez. Now, Anthony, help me here. Out of all those centers, can you name me 4 good centers out of them? Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you name me 4 good centers?
No, I can't even name one.
Okay, Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah, obviously. I thought you meant something else. Yeah, Crosby.
No. Like out of all the centers I just mentioned to you, can you name at least 3?
I can name Crosby, Malkin, and maybe Rodriguez. I don't know.
Rodriguez has not been great. Mark Jankowski, he's not.
I got nothing else. It's probably just Malkin and Crosby. I don't know.
Yeah, like dude, their center depth is not good.
Like I would have re-signed Dominic Simone and put him on the 3rd line. I mean,
yeah, he's not bad, but like, dude, it's Jim Rutherford. Like, I'm still waiting for Jimmy Howard to sign there. Like
I'm telling you, I keep saying this. Pittsburgh is going to be a bottom 8th team in that Metro division. They're going to be so bad. They're going to be crap next season. They're going to go into a drought. I'm telling you, this year is going to be the start of their drought, and it's going to continue to the next couple years. Remember what the Leafs had? A playoff drought?
Yep.
I think it was after 2000. Was it after the Bruins series, 2013, right?
Yeah, where they didn't make the playoffs for like 3 years.
Yeah, for 3 years. I think that's what's going to happen to Pittsburgh, and they have to really look into rebuild, maybe not rebuilding necessarily, but retooling, maybe adding some more depth, which is what they have. They need to add center depth because they don't really have much. They have Crosby, Malkin, but when those guys are gone, who are you going to have? Who are you going to have developed? Nobody.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with you on that one. One more signing here. Denis Gurianov signs a 2-year deal. Same deal as really Jake Virtanen, really, 2.5 per year. That's a good signing.
Stars, pretty good.
Because he did put up like 20 goals, so 2.5.
He had a breakout playoffs. Did you see his playoffs? Holy shit.
Yeah, even Steve Dangle predicted that. He's like, Denis Gurianov. But, dude, this guy can skate, man. This guy's fast.
Shout out to Steve Dangle.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Yeah. So that's it for the hockey news. What do you want to go into now? Oh, actually, no. Winter Classic and All-Star Game have been delayed. So then they can start the NHL season.
Which makes sense to me because
stuff.
I'm just saying, first of all, number one, it's not really as important as starting another NHL season, which they have to go into before like October, because they have to get everything condensed. They have to get it done because that's mandatory. And number two, no one wants to watch a St. Louis Minnesota Wild freaking Winter Classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who cares?
sounds like it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. The All-Stars can wait, and the Winter Classic can wait as well. The regular season should be a number one priority to start so they can crown 2020, 2021 Stanley Cup champions. That's what I think. I hope that happens. Like, I want to see a Winter Classic. Here's the thing. I want to see a Winter Classic with the Leafs and Habs again, bro. Please.
Yeah,
please, especially with how good the Habs have gotten and what the Leafs have gotten as well through these free agencies. It would have been so nice to have that this season, but we only get St. Louis and Minnesota. Like I'm saying, like it's not going to be entertaining at all whatsoever. Sure, it'll be cool, but like, sure, it's great. Cam Talbot, making a save on like on Torrey Krug, like bro, I'm so cool, but like I don't know. That's why I'm happy that they pushed it and made the most sense to do that instead of delaying the regular season again. Because, usually the Winter Classic's on the 1st, and that's when they plan on having a season in January. They want to start New Year's Day. So So we'll see how that ends up. We'll see when the regular season will start. Hopefully, it starts right on January 1st. We get right into the hockey, so we don't have to miss anything, and then we can see who wins the Stanley Cup this year. It's going to be really entertaining. But here's the thing, though. I have a question, though. What do you think there's going to be a preseason? I don't think – it doesn't look like it.
I don't think no pre. I think just training camp.
It's just training camp because they did just come through a playoffs. But what about teams who haven't been in the bubble?
Well, they should, 1, play better in the regular season, 2, not be trashed, and 3, they just got to – who cares? Like, they should have just played better last year. That's it.
So I don't know.
It's their fault.
We'll see how it looks. I think that's it for the hockey news.
I want to say, plus for the Winter Classic, dude, they're not going to have like the typical 30,000, 40,000 fans.
Yeah, it's going to be an empty arena. Like, what's the point?
Most likely.
Wouldn't you rather? Like, I think it's going to be Minnesota's first time hosting a Winter Classic, and St. Louis, right? I
don't even know.
It might be their first time. Oh no, it'll be Minnesota's. Wouldn't they want to have that big event for their team, like for their fans in an arena? Wouldn't that be more like it would be better, and it'd just be more fascinating for the fans. It's for the fans usually. They do it for the fans, and for them to just move it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So so that's it for the NHL news today. Let's go into the only NBA story. So it was confirmed today by the NBA that they're not by the NBA, so some sources around there were confirming that the NBA wants to have the next NBA 2020-2021 season start on Christmas Day, December 25th, 2020.
Or Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Or Martin Luther King Jr. Day. When is Martin Luther King Jr. Day anyway?
I'm not quite sure. I want to say it's like January 18th.
Something like that. From what I've heard today, they want to start on either Christmas or January.
And they want to play a 72-game season. That might be in the works too, instead of an 82-game season.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Which makes sense. Like
it does make sense. It does make sense. I mean, they don't have to play all those games, right?
Yeah,
because you're usually playing each team like 3 or 4 times. Something like that, usually. So for that to happen, I mean, I'm okay with it. I want to see basketball again, right?
Yeah.
We all do. We all miss it already because Toronto got out disappointingly in the playoffs this year. So I want to see them bounce back. I want to see them have a good season, and I want to see them win the championship again, which they can do.
They can do. And there was a report that the Raptors might play in Kentucky.
I saw that.
They might play in Louisville, Kentucky. It's like, dude, are you serious? Like,
I know.
Playing now again, I know it's hard for them to play in Scotiabank.
We understand the COVID-19 rules.
Yeah, like we get
and the borders,
like
just crossing the border,
like, obviously,
all that stuff.
And plus, it's tough because the border cancellation, like the border's literally closed. So I guess, teams can't travel over the border in quarantine like that. But, like, man, I just want to see them in Scotiabank Arena.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking about this. Even for the NBA and the NHL, this is for both. If they want to do a season, why don't they just have a bubble for each division and they play all the games against the teams that they have to play for? Like, let's say the Raptors play, like, They in the regular season usually they would play 3 games against the Bucks. Why don't they have them play all those games in that bubble, and then they could just move on to other teams? Like they just mix up the bubble.
Oh, so play like the same team like back to back to back.
Yeah,
Like
something like that. Like play all your games against that one team, against that team, those teams that you usually play, like in your division, and then you move division, something like that. So each team can play as many games. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Or like in the conference, because like again, like Eastern teams don't really have to play West Coast teams, like it doesn't
matter
be like
because it doesn't really matter. It's just for point purposes and like seeding and like standings. Because if you really think about it, it doesn't matter who you play in the finals from the West. All you're really focusing on right now is playing a team that you're gonna play in the final, or like the conference final or the semis, or even the first round. So if you really think about it, the West playing the Western teams, it doesn't really matter. Let's be honest, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like they could just play all their games against Eastern Conference teams. Like how many teams are there in the Eastern Conference? What, 12? I want to say something like 12,
maybe play one or 2 games from the other, maybe from the Western Division. You know what I mean? Or like say vice versa with the West and the East. I don't know.
Yeah, like look, there's how many teams? There's 15 teams in the East, right? Now they would play a 72-game season, so they could play like how many games? Like what is it? 15, 30, 45? No, they could play like 6 games against each team.
Yeah, because they don't even have to play 82 games. They can just reduce.
Yeah, like they go like on the 72 game or like 82 game base, they could just play like 6 games per team. Like in the Eastern Conference alone. So there's multiple options.
Yeah, I just hope they do. I just hope they do a smart thing. They take their COVID precautions, and we get it, and we get an NBA season sooner than later.
Yeah, I trust Adam Silver. I love what he did with the bubble in Orlando. I think
the bubble for the NHL and the NBA was probably the most successful out of all the sports organizations.
Yeah,
you see how bad the MLB was doing at the beginning, and the NFL testing positive and all that stuff.
Well, okay, the MLB is fine now, so
it's fine now because there's only 2 teams. But like at the beginning, there was a bunch of
the beginning was bad.
Positive tests. The Marlins couldn't even play for a couple of games, and now the NFL they were getting.
Oh yeah, the NFL's messed up, bro.
But that's why the bubble was the smartest thing. But here's the thing. The problem is how you gonna see that in the regular season, because you have to travel to different teams. So we'll see how the NBA does it. And hopefully, we'll probably get a season. Well, I hope we get a season probably Christmas Day, which would be nice to watch some basketball. Maybe watch the Raptors take out the Bucks pretty easily, as usual. And Giannis getting dunked on by whoever.
Pascal Siakam.
After Pascal Siakam
spin move.
Unless he starts missing threes. Other than that, hopefully we'll see a season soon. That's it for the NBA topic. So let's go into our final topic. The World Series. The World Series has gone on. It started on. When did it start?
Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday after the podcast. So I predicted the Tampa Bay Rays to win this thing, to win the World Series, and you predicted the LA Dodgers. The LA Dodgers. At the start of the playoffs. The LA Dodgers won Game 1. What was the score?
7-1. It was 8-3 Dodgers.
Yeah, 8-3 Dodgers. And then the following game, which was on Wednesday, it was Wednesday.
The Rays won. Brendan Lau with 2 bombs, 2 homers. The Rays won 6-4. Now they're playing right now, and the Dodgers are winning 5-0 in the 4th.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about. I still think Tampa could come back here, bro.
Well, Tampa is getting no hit.
You know what's funny? I saw Steven Stamkos tweet after Game 1. Game 1s are so overrated.
Yes.
Because they also lost Game 1 against the Stars, and they still won the series. You know what I mean? That was kind of funny to see.
That's funny. Yeah. Oh, and I guess I'll just wrap up the MLB. Just a quick recap. And Anthony, I'm an Aston Villa fan. I've told you this I think a couple weeks ago. They were on a 4-game win streak, and they lost today 3-0. That is unfortunate. First loss of the season. That is tough. That is tough. It's fine though, because we're still second in the Premier League, so we're chilling. We are chilling.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I think that wraps up that wraps it up, right? We summed it up.
I think that does.
We talked about everything that we wanted to talk about. So we'll see you guys on Monday with episode 17. This has been the AJ Sports Podcast. Hopefully we'll get my camera fixed and Justin's internet doesn't have issues. Hopefully my camera works next time, and your internet doesn't have issues, right?
True. I mean? Hopefully
we have to be OP next time. Like
I
this
know we have
episode.
to.
Sorry guys, if this episode wasn't as what you
It
thought
was
it
all
was.
over the place.
We had a little bit of technical issues. We will get that sorted out and fixed for you guys next episode. We will see you guys on Monday. Take care and peace, guys.
Peace.